Quick like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. You know what's supposed to be romantic? Receiving roses on Rose Day. That first day of Valentine's week, when people send flowers to the ones they love. It's sweet, traditional, a simple gesture that says, I'm thinking of you. Unless the roses aren't from your husband. Unless the card attached says something that makes it very clear your marriage has an expiration date. My wife received roses on Rose Day. Beautiful arrangement, 24 red roses, expensive crystal vase. Delivered to our house while I was at work. I came home that evening and saw them on our kitchen counter. Assumed they were from me. I'd ordered roses to be delivered to her office. Figured maybe the delivery got redirected. Then I read the card. From your future, not your past. I stood there holding that card, reading those 6 words over and over. From your future, not your past. Not from me. From someone who considered himself her future. Someone who considered me. Her husband of 9 years. Her past. Someone who was confident enough to send roses to my house with a message that essentially said, I'm replacing your husband. My name is Derek. I'm 37 years old, and I work as a corporate attorney for a law firm in Atlanta, Georgia. I spend my days reviewing contracts, identifying problematic language, and recognizing when terms don't match intent. I understand subtext, implications, and what people really mean when they choose specific words. From your future, not your past, wasn't subtle. It was a declaration, and I was the past being replaced. I met Angela 10 years ago at a mutual friend's engagement party in Buckhead. She was working as a pharmaceutical sales representative, outgoing and charismatic in ways that balanced my more reserved legal personality. I was the contract guy. She was the people person. We fit. We got married 9 years ago. Bought a house in Virginia Highland. A renovated craftsman with a wraparound porch and mature trees. Angela continued in pharmaceutical sales, consistently hitting her quotas. I made senior associate, then partner track. Combined income around $245,000. We were successful, stable, living well in Atlanta's professional scene. For 8 years, everything was solid. We had our routines, our social circle, our shared life. Angela traveled occasionally for work, conferences, client meetings, the usual sales territory stuff. I had long hours at the firm. We made it work. Then about 4 months ago, Angela started changing. She'd become more distant emotionally, less interested in my work stories, less communicative about her own day. When I'd ask about her sales calls, she'd give vague responses. Her phone became constantly guarded, always face down, password protected, taken everywhere including the bathroom. She'd started dressing more carefully even for routine work days. Designer outfits for regular client meetings. Full makeup for video calls from home. The physical intimacy between us had decreased dramatically. We'd gone from regular connection to occasional to rare. Just exhausted from the new territory assignments, she'd explain. The company's pushing hard on quotas. Valentine's week was approaching. In India and some other cultures, the week before Valentine's Day is celebrated with themed days. Rose Day, Propose Day, Chocolate Day, etc. Angela had Indian colleagues and clients, had started observing some of these traditions over the past few years. Rose Day falls on February 7th, the start of Valentine's week. Tuesday morning, February 7th, I left for work around 7:30 a.m. Angela was getting ready for her day. She had client meetings scheduled, she said. I ordered roses to be delivered to your office today. I told her. Happy Rose Day. That's sweet. Thank you. Red roses, your favorite. Perfect. I kissed her goodbye and left for the firm. Around 11 a.m., I got a text from the florist confirming delivery to Angela's office. The roses I'd ordered had been received and signed for. Good. Done. I went back to reviewing contracts. I got home that evening around 6:30 p.m., walked in through the garage, into the kitchen, and stopped. On our kitchen counter sat a massive flower arrangement. 24 red roses in an expensive crystal vase. Professional arrangement, clearly high-end florist work. Angela was in the living room on her laptop. Hey, I see the roses arrived. I called out. What? She sounded confused. I walked into the living room. The roses on the kitchen counter. They're beautiful. I'm glad the florist delivered them here instead of your office. Her face went pale. Those aren't from you. What do you mean? I ordered you roses for Rose Day. Those were delivered to my office. These are different. I walked back to the kitchen, looked at the arrangement more carefully. She was right. These weren't the roses I'd ordered. Different vase, different arrangement style. There was a small card attached to a plastic holder in the arrangement. I pulled it out, opened it. Read 6 words that changed everything. From your future, not your past. No signature, no name, just those 6 words. I stood there holding the card, my legal mind immediately parsing the language. From your future equals someone who sees themselves as Angela's future partner. Not your past equals someone who considers me, her current husband, to be already gone, already irrelevant, already replaced. This wasn't a romantic message. This was a declaration of ownership, a claim on my wife's future, a dismissal of her marriage as something already over. Angela appeared in the kitchen doorway. Derek, I held up the card. From your future, not your past. Want to explain this? I don't know what that means. Yes, you do. Someone sent you 2 dozen roses with a message saying they're your future, and I'm your past. That's pretty clear language. Maybe it's from a client who considers himself your future, a client who's confident enough to send romantic roses to your home address with a message dismissing your marriage. She didn't answer. I looked at the arrangement more carefully. There was a delivery receipt tucked under the vase. I pulled it out. Ordered from Peachtree Florist. Delivery address. Our home address. Ordered by Brian Mitchell. Order date February 5th. Amount $287.50. Brian Mitchell. The name meant nothing to me. Who's Brian Mitchell? Angela's face confirmed she knew exactly who that was. He's a doctor, one of my clients, and he sends you roses with messages about being your future. It's not like that. What's it like then? Because from your future, not your past, is pretty explicit. He's saying he's going to replace me. You're reading too much into it. I'm a contract attorney. I read language for a living. This isn't ambiguous. This is a man claiming you as his future while dismissing me as your past. I pulled out my phone, searched Brian Mitchell, Dr. Atlanta. Found him immediately. Dr. Brian Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon, practices at Emory. Mid-40s, accomplished, successful. I showed Angela the phone. This him? She nodded. How long have you been seeing him? I'm not seeing him. Angela, he sent $287 worth of roses to our house with a message about being your future. That's not a professional relationship. We've had dinner a few times. How many times? I don't know. Maybe 10 or 12. 10 or 12 dinners with a client who sends you roses saying he's your future. He's been persistent. Have you slept with him? She looked at the floor. Didn't answer. Have you slept with Brian Mitchell? Yes. The kitchen felt suddenly too small, too quiet. For how long? For months. For months. The exact time frame when Angela's behavior had changed. When she'd become distant, protective of her phone, dressed more carefully, pulled away from intimacy with me. For months you've been sleeping with your client. And today he sent roses to our house with a message saying he's your future. I'm your past. I didn't ask him to send those. But you've been having an affair with him for 4 months. You've been having dinners with him 10 or 12 times. You've been sleeping with him while coming home to me. I didn't mean for it to happen. But it did. And he feels confident enough in your relationship to send roses to your marital home, dismissing your husband as irrelevant. I took photos of the roses, the card, the delivery receipt, sent them to myself. I'm calling Brian. Don't. I'd already found his office number online. Called it. Emory Orthopedics. How can I help you? I need to speak with Dr. Brian Mitchell. This is Derek Hayes. Is this regarding a medical matter? It's personal. Tell him it's Angela Hayes' husband calling. There was a pause. 1 moment. 30 seconds later, a man's voice. This is Dr. Mitchell. This is Derek Hayes, Angela's husband. I'm calling about the roses you sent to our house today. Silence on the other end. The roses with the card that said, from your future, not your past. Want to explain that message? I think you should discuss this with Angela. I'm discussing it with you. You sent flowers to my house with a message claiming to be my wife's future. That's a pretty bold move. Angela and I have been seeing each other. I wanted to do something special for Rose Day. You're having an affair with a married woman, and you sent roses to her marital home. That's not special. That's arrogant. Angela told me your marriage was over, that you were basically roommates. I'm her husband. We live together. We're married. Nothing about that is over. That's not what she told me. What exactly did she tell you? That the marriage had been dead for years. That you lived separate lives. That she was planning to file for divorce soon. I looked at Angela. She was crying, but I kept talking. Angela told you we were getting divorced? She said the paperwork was coming. That she was just waiting for the right time. There's no paperwork. There's no divorce. We're married, and as far as I knew until about 10 minutes ago, we were fine. I didn't know. You didn't verify. You took the word of a woman having an affair and sent roses to her husband's house with a message about replacing him. That's on you. I hung up. Turned to Angela. You told him we were getting divorced. I didn't know how else to explain. Explain what? Why you were sleeping with him while married. You just lied and said we were splitting up. I was planning to tell you. When? Before or after Brian fully replaced me as your future? I don't know. I was confused. You weren't confused. You were having an affair. For 4 months. You told Brian our marriage was over, so he wouldn't feel guilty. Then he sent roses to our house confident enough to include a message dismissing me. I pulled out my phone again. Called my attorney, a family law specialist I'd worked with on other cases. Richard, it's Derek Hayes. I need to file for divorce immediately. What happened? My wife's been having an affair for 4 months. Her boyfriend sent roses to our house today with a card saying, he's her future. I'm her past. I need papers drawn up tonight. I'll have them ready by morning. I hung up. Angela was staring at me. You're filing for divorce? Your boyfriend already declared himself your future. I'm just making it official. We can work through this. Work through what? 4 months of you sleeping with Brian while telling him we were getting divorced. 4 months of you lying to both of us. There's nothing to work through. I made a mistake. You made hundreds of choices over 4 months. Every dinner with Brian. Every time you slept with him. Every lie you told me about where you were. And today, when he sent roses declaring himself your future, you brought them into our house and put them on our kitchen counter. I didn't ask him to send those, but you created a relationship where he felt entitled to. You told him we were getting divorced. You gave him the impression he was replacing me. Those roses are the result of months of your lies. I grabbed my keys. I'm leaving. I'll be at a hotel. Don't call me. Communicate through attorneys starting tomorrow. Where am I supposed to go? Go to Brian. He's your future, right? That's what the card said. Go be with your future. I left. Drove to a hotel near my office. Checked in. Sat in the room processing everything. My wife had been having an affair for 4 months. Had told her boyfriend we were getting divorced. Had created a situation where he felt comfortable sending roses to our house with a message about replacing me. And I'd only found out because of a Rose Day delivery with 6 words. From your future, not your past. The next morning, Richard had divorce papers ready. Angela was served at our house by 10 a.m. She called immediately, crying. You really filed? Your boyfriend sent roses declaring himself your future. I'm giving you that future, without me in it. The divorce moved quickly. Angela tried to argue I was overreacting to 1 flower delivery. Richard presented the evidence. Dr. Mitchell's roses weren't an isolated incident. They were the culmination of a 4-month affair where Mrs. Hayes told her boyfriend the marriage was ending. The card's message, from your future, not your past, makes clear she positioned the affair as her next relationship, not a temporary indiscretion. We also subpoenaed Brian Mitchell's phone records and credit card statements. Found 12 dinners at expensive restaurants over 4 months. Hotel charges on 6 different dates. Flower deliveries. The Rose Day roses were the 4th arrangement he'd sent. Angela had no defense. The evidence was overwhelming. We settled after 7 weeks. I kept the house. I'd paid 80% of the down payment from premarital inheritance. Angela got 25% of joint accounts. No spousal support. 9 years of marriage ended because of 6 words on a Rose Day card. I heard what happened after. Brian Mitchell ended things with Angela within 3 weeks. Turns out he'd enjoyed the affair, but when Angela was actually available, divorced, wanting a real relationship, he lost interest. He liked being her future as a fantasy. Less interested when she became his present. Angela tried to reach out about 6 months later. Long email about mistakes and how the roses had been misunderstood. I replied with 1 line. The message was clear. You chose your future. I chose mine. They're not the same. About a year after the divorce, I met someone at a legal conference. Her name was Sophia, estate planning attorney. understood contracts and language. On our third date, she asked about my divorce. My ex-wife received roses on Rose Day. The card said, "From your future, not your past." Turned out she'd been having an affair for 4 months with a doctor who thought he was replacing me. Sophia's eyes widened. "He sent that to your house." 2 dozen roses, $287, delivered to our home address. The card made it very clear he considered himself her future and me her past. "What did you do?" "Called him. Found out my wife had told him we were getting divorced, that our marriage was over. He thought he was just being romantic with his future partner. Didn't realize he was actually just her affair partner while she was still married." "How did you find out about the affair?" "The roses. I came home, saw them, read the card. 6 words told me everything I needed to know about what my wife had been doing for 4 months. We've been together 11 months. Sophia sends me roses on Rose Day. The card says simple things like, 'Happy Rose Day,' or 'Thinking of you.' No messages about futures or pasts. Just present. Honest present. My wife received roses on Rose Day. The card said, 'From your future, not your past.' 6 words that declared her husband irrelevant. 6 words that revealed a 4-month affair. 6 words that showed she'd been telling her boyfriend our marriage was ending. 6 words that made clear someone else had claimed her as his. From your future, not your past." Brian saw himself as Angela's future, saw me as her past. Something already over, already replaced, already irrelevant. And Angela had let him believe that for 4 months, until he sent roses declaring it publicly to our house, where her actual present, her husband, would see them. The future she'd promised him, the past she'd made of me, all revealed in 6 words. On a Rose Day card, attached to 2 dozen roses. That ended a 9-year marriage. Because her future had gotten tired of being secret, and decided to announce himself, with flowers, and a message, that her husband would read. From your future, not your past. He was right about one thing. I was her past, but so was he. Neither of us her future. Just 2 men who believe her lies, until the roses told the truth.